Kia ora and good afternoon. Boy, I've had a great sleep this afternoon. I always told people that the best time to sleep is actually in the afternoon. When the sun is high and it's just so hot and inside is cool, you can have a better sleep at such a time. I don't know if you've tried it. I think you should. If you try something like that, I bet you will wake up with a great sense of freedom. Like you actually wake up and you feel this sense of freedom, but also you feel brand new, like really rejuvenated. And it's like your brain is gone back to factory settings. And you can allow so much new information in at a slow pace, of course. The reason for my video today is to share about community, what it really means to be a community. I mean, we live in a society now where the idea of community is all about, well, who agrees with you. Yeah? It's not a community where people have individual opinion as such that collectively they can bring that opinion and ideas together to form something, but rather is who you like, either physical or personality, or what they can give you. It's not a true community anymore, you know? It's just not. I mean, you have members of our councils fighting in boardroom meetings, you know, wasting our taxpayers' dollars and rates and all that, just fighting, not getting along and doing what they're supposed to. Blaming each other and bickering like children. Actually, I take that back. I'm sorry, but not like children, worse than children. I've seen children bicker, and it doesn't take that long. Children will just have a good bicker, and it's done, and then they just get back together and play in 5 minutes. Adults will drag it for years, for months, for years, and more and more. Community. I would never be the man I am today if it wasn't for the community in which I grew up in. In my village, in my culture, every man and woman, even the ones you've never met in your life, are responsible for every single child, vulnerable child in the community. Every single child. Every child is basically vulnerable, but you know, every single child. They're responsible for them. It's like, pride of lions. Every lion in that group is responsible for the cubs that are in that pride. They will defend it fearlessly. They will feed it. They will care for it. They will teach the cubs. It was exactly like that in my culture, in my village. We will protect the elderly fearlessly, and we will protect each other. We live in a community where people just I've had scenarios where people just say, no, don't, you can't discipline my child. I will do it. And I say to them, okay, If they are all the way in the city center or wherever they are, far from you, how can you discipline them from there? We all wonder how and why many of our young adults have turned out the way they've become. Now, we're not talking about physical scarring here. See, the issue is not what you see on the outside. It's what's behind those eyes. When I look into a full-grown adult's eyes, I can easily tell what that person has been through. Easily. Some, the scarring, you can see it at the back of their eyes. Others may have physical signs, but many are hidden. Now, why did many end up like that? Because the community wasn't there for them to support, to guide, to be there and support them and help show them the way. Because some of their parents are all about, no, I'll do all that discipline. No, you can't. Many of us have almost suggested to our children that we are immortal and will be there forever. Now that's a problem. When that day comes, and it will, and your children have to stand on their own 2 feet, on their own, that's when the struggle really begins. That is when the test of a true parent shows. My grandfather always believed that if I can stand on my own 2 feet without him, I have made it. And he has done his job. That is the test of a true parent. A parent who's preparing their children for their death. Believe it or not, we will all go one day. And survival of the fittest is all about the child who can stand on their own 2 feet, thanks and as a result of their parents and their community. A parent can't do it alone. Mom or dad, and even the extended family can't do it alone. There are many family groups that are just disbanded all over the world. And if you can't trust your community to help discipline, support, and be there for your children, then you can be self-assured that your child will not make it or survive it. Now, I'm not talking about them dying or anything. No, I'm sure one day we'll all die. But what I'm saying is, if a person can't survive physically, and this is the part, the most important part, mentally as well, because that's the battle we're fighting these days. Everything is state of mind. If they can't survive it, they can't cope, then they haven't made it. It's not about money. It's not about how many houses you have, how many cars you have, your wealth. No. If you're not happy, then it's all for nothing.